How do I breathe? Well, if you're watching this video, you're probably breathing okay for the moment. But how do I breathe when it comes to singing, when it comes to speaking, when it comes to having a powerful voice? So many of you reach out to me and ask me that very question. Some of my long-term clients are still asking me, well, now wait a second. Is it the belly? Is it the diaphragm? Am I supposed to just sort of push out? So many questions. Well, in this video, I want to share with you my thoughts on having a good, strong, powerful voice, whether you're a singer, speaker, using your breath in the way that's going to best fuel that. Let's get started. How do I breathe? Well, the number one way of getting a better voice, of becoming a better speaker, singer, is through the breath. The breath takes over everything. If you're working on an accent and you're thinking about those sounds, if you're working on articulation, it can be very easy to start to forget about the breath and we're just talking from the throat again. Well, that's not going to be of help. And it's very easy if you're a singer, when you start to reach those higher notes, to kind of strain right from here. That's not going to help either. Not straining, but rather relaxing, breathing in fully is the key to having a strong voice. In my video, How to Breathe from the Diaphragms, Part 1 and Part 2, I share with you lying down and just feeling your belly fill up with air. You are a three-dimensional person, physically. You have your belly with all the organs inside of it. You have the diaphragm, which is underneath the lungs. You have the lungs, which expand out and expand down. All of these work together. In order to breathe in a way that supports your voice, whether you're a singer or whether you're a speaker, is by filling in that whole area. Remember, these are resonators. Your chest is a resonator. Your facial muscles, your face, your cranium is a resonator as well. But this chest is so dynamic. It's so powerful. Your diaphragm is something that works naturally and works for you. It's just that as we get older, if you're a dancer, certainly, you're a person who's been told, hold in your belly, hold in your belly. That's working against the natural action of the diaphragm. So look at my video, How to Speak from the Diaphragm, either Part 1 or Part 2, and see what I'm talking about. When you're lying down at night, or anytime when you're lying down on your back, and you put your hands on your belly and you just let yourself relax, you'll notice that your hands move up. Because what's happening is your diaphragm, which is at the base of your lungs, is contracting downwards, as it does when you sleep. It's doing its natural movement. And by moving down, it's pushing the guts up and out of the way. If you are a person who is, when you're standing up, holding your belly in, then when you breathe in, you breathe that the belly comes down, your diaphragm goes up, and you're working against nature. So what you want to do is allow yourself to relax. Allow the diaphragm to do its natural thing, which is to move down, contract down, and push the guts out of the way. Move down and push the guts out of the way. And when I say push, I'm not telling you to push your guts out of the way, to push down, because that creates tension. Tension in your body creates tension in your voice, which creates an unhealthy way of speaking or singing. So what you want to do is simply to allow that breath to drop in through an open throat, down into the belly. And remember, it's not just the diaphragm going down, it's the lungs expanding, because as I said at the beginning of the video, you are a three-dimensional creature. So the lungs will expand to the sides, the diaphragm will expand or contract rather down, the guts will move out of the way, the sides will expand, the throat will stay relaxed. And this can be the breath, the support, the pressure, but I don't want you to think of pressure, I just want you to think of support. The support underneath your voice, so that when you go to the high notes or to the low notes, that breath is underneath you. You're not having to push against your diaphragm, you're not having to push against your belly, but rather allowing that stomach, that belly to expand, the rib cage to expand, the throat to stay relaxed, and the voice to be produced as an elevator, coming from the base, the bottom of your belly button, even into the pelvic floor. You can imagine starting down at the feet. That breath coming from down below, moving up, moving out, and fueling your voice, whether it's for a speaker or a singer. So it's all about relaxation, about allowing that breath to expand, about not holding your belly, and not contracting or tightening your throat, but rather allowing all of that to be full so that you have this barrel underneath you. You might have heard of somebody who's barrel-chested. That means they have a big chest. And you'll notice in a barrel-chested person, they tend to generally have a big, full voice. The same is true for you. Allow this barrel, this whole entire barrel, not just the chest, but the belly, the sides of the rib cage, to expand with breath, and that to be your fuel. It's as though you were a big fuel tank. This is the fuel underneath your voice, and this is what allows the voice to come out. By having that breath drop down, your throat can be relaxed, so those sounds can go up or down, and you take the pressure off of how is my articulation, how is my speech, how are my notes. Those notes are supported through breathing in a way that's most supportive to your voice and to the way that you speak. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.